Welcome back to my KEEPUP channel. Roaring crowd goes wild as Taylor Swift takes to stage in one of her trademark glittering bodysuits as star kicks off first show of sellout UK Eras tour in Edinburgh. Taylor Swift kicked off the UK leg of her sellout Eras tour in style in Edinburgh, stepping out onto the stage in a trademark blue and gold sequin bodysuit to tell screaming fans, "What a way to welcome a lass to Scotland." The 34-year-old singer drove fans wild as she emerged at Mayfield Stadium following a riotous warm-up from American pop-punk band Paramore. Excitement built up to fever pitch with a 2-minute countdown on the big screen before Taylor finally emerged from a stage which rose dramatically into the air in the middle of the stadium, prompting screams of hysteria. She started out with 2019 tune Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. And as she took in the adoration of thousands of fans she had in the palm of her hand, Taylor paused to tell them, "What a way to welcome a lass to Scotland, you've gone and made me feel so amazing." She then spun round and pointed to every part of the stadium drawing in huge screams and told the crowd, "That went straight to my head. That made me feel really powerful." And as she rounded up a monster 3.5-hour set with Karma, fireworks shot out from the top of the stage, lighting fixtures within the grounds and the roof of the stadium itself, prompting an avalanche of cheers from fans. The sellout show saw her run through a cavalcade of hits including Cruel Summer, Lover, You Belong With Me, Love Story and 22, which saw her hand a fedora hat to a young fan in the audience, as is tradition at each show, within the first hour alone, before moving on to later eras in her illustrious career. And in a nod to her Scottish audience, she gave backing dancer Cameron Saunders the opportunity to say "Nay chance," as she performed We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. She later drove the Scottish fans wild after telling them lockdown-era album Folklore was inspired by their home country. In remarks reported by BBC News, she said, "There was so much TV, so much white wine, covered in cat hair. That was my reality. So I thought, I'm going to create an imaginary world and escape into it. That was Folklore, and it was probably based on line of videos I've seen of Scotland." She also told the adoring crowd earlier in the show, "My biggest regret is that I should have played in Scotland more. I should have brought every tour to Scotland. I can't stop looking at the crowd, it's captivating." Someone took the show as an opportunity to write their own love story, proposing to their partner at the show, and even catching the singer's eye. She told the crowd, "I'm pretty sure someone just got engaged right now." They did. That's amazing. That's huge. All those crammed inside the stadium raised their arms into the air and activated special wristbands, which sparkled whenever Taylor began singing. Clutching a sky blue guitar, Taylor hailed the Edinburgh crowd early in the show, telling them the concerts are the biggest in Scottish history. She said, "I've not been to Scotland for almost a decade and I wondered what it was going to be like, but you know what, you answered it before I even got on stage. This concert is the most highly ticketed show in Scottish history." She then burst into huge hit Lover, the bombastic production values on show as the song ended with a shower of sparks raining down on the stage in front of a backdrop of a burning house. The 3.5-hour show charts Swift's 20-year professional music career, from aspiring country singer to pop star and now global cultural juggernaut with a fandom unrivaled by almost any other musical act on the planet and a reported net worth of $1.3 billion, £1.02 billion. It features countless costume changes, with Swift moving from bodysuits to sequin suit jackets, a t-shirt reading "This is not Taylor's version" and even a flowing lavender gown she wore to sing Enchanted, blowing kisses to fans as she re-emerged on stage. She then donned yet another outfit, a snake-patterned ensemble, to sing Reputation and Bad Blood. Later, her backing dancers were boxed inside transparent cases as she launched into Look What You Made Me Do, her polarizing hit that riffs on Right Said Fred's 90s hit Sexy. And no expense was spared as she took to the roof of a treehouse, backlit by a gigantic moon on the screen behind her, to sing mellow track Cardigan, the lead single from lockdown album Folklore. As she sang in a forest-inspired green dress, the 73,000-strong crowd sang every word back. Later, Mayfield lit up with a sea of torches as she launched into slow-burning Evermore hit Marjorie, inspired by her late grandmother, and Willow, fans waving their phones back and forth, bright LEDs alight across the entire stadium. The second half of the show featured several tracks from her most recent album, The Tortured Poets Department itself, a two-part album that was released in halves just hours apart in April. Among the new tracks introduced since the tour was tweaked for the European leg were So High School, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? And Fortnight, performed in a white ball gown dress decorated with lyrics from the most recent album. And a saucy routine saw her change into high-waisted sequined shorts and a matching crop top with a spangly jacket to match. Later in the show, she performed two surprise songs that changed night to night. In this case, the two songs were in fact four, spliced across two mashups: Would've, Could've, Should've and I Know Places on guitar, followed by a piano medley of 'Tis the Damn Season and Ballad Daylight. Opening the unpredictable segment in a blue dress, Taylor told the crowd, "This has been the most insane thing. We have to do this again." But she had to briefly halt the first song first to draw attention to fans who needed help in the crowd, and after developing a rare cramp in her hand, which she compared to performing with a claw. Following the surprise segment intimately performed on acoustic guitar and piano, she moved into her final, most recent era, of 2022 hit album Midnights, with songs such as Lavender Haze, Anti-Hero, and Vigilante S******, performed to a racy chair dance routine in a purple sequin bodysuit with tassels. And she rounded out the show with Karma, illuminated by cascades of fireworks sent skyward towards the hugely emotional climax, live-streamed by tearful fans for thousands to watch online. Fans gushed about the epic show to Mail Online as it wrapped up. Sarah Johnson, 40, said, "She was beyond amazing, absolutely incredible. She was the epitome of fine and divine and proved why she is one of the world's biggest selling artists. Tonight was simply incredible. I won't ever forget it." Mother and daughter Laura and Rosa Wilson from Glasgow said they had a brilliant time. Laura, 44, said, "We've never seen her live before and it was everything we'd hoped for, absolutely sensational in every way. She is an incredible performer." And the crowd were so receptive of that. "I think Taylor Swift herself was bowled over by it." Rosa, 13, added, "It was one of the best things I've ever seen. I can't believe I got to see her live. I loved it when the sparks began flying during Bad Blood. It was unbelievable." Meanwhile, Alison Roberts, 41, from Leicestershire said, "I got married 3 years ago and walked down the aisle to love her so when she played that I was an emotional wreck. She was unreal, she blew me away in every way possible. The music was amazing, the crowd were amazing. It was such a wonderful night." Taylor's first Scottish show in over a decade began just hours after the multi-Grammy-winning global megastar touched down at Edinburgh Airport, hidden beneath a series of umbrellas as she was whisked into a car and driven to the stadium in a police convoy. Drone pictures showed the convoy weaving its way through Scotland's capital and passing the entrance to the rugby stadium and events venue as fans queued, unaware they were just feet from their idol. The Cruel Summer singer is performing tonight, Saturday and Sunday in Edinburgh before heading to Liverpool, Cardiff and Wembley in London, fresh off the back of releasing her critically acclaimed album The Tortured Poets Department. Excitement had been building ahead of the British leg of Taylor's Sellout Eras tour, and devoted fans, who call themselves Swifties, had queued since 3 a.m., braving the miserable Scottish weather as they did so. In true Scottish fashion, fans have covered their sparkling outfits with waterproof coats and resorted to wearing plastic bags over their shoes to stay dry ahead of the show beginning. Inside the stadium, they could be seen exchanging friendship bracelets, a trademark sign you're at a Taylor Swift concert, and singing every word of the 40-plus song setlist back at the American superstar. And while buckets of chicken nuggets and chips were being sold for an unappealing £14 at a time in both meaty and vegan forms, the bar was selling wine for a far more palatable £6.70, while a gin and tonic was £7.50. Such is the draw of a Taylor Swift concert that fans have been trying to stream it on TikTok from inside the stadium, with thousands tuning in on TikTok and other piggybacking streams on YouTube in order to watch it, despite such streams being a breach of copyright law. Ellie Simmons has been spotted in the queue wearing a t-shirt with the words "I love Taylor" written across it. The British Paralympian swimmer was seen with a film crew speaking to fans who had been waiting for hours in line. Some Swifties pitched up tents to make an impromptu camp outside the home of Scottish rugby overnight. At least 12 tents were set up close to the stadium gates as fans traveled from all over the country to be among the first in line to see the anti-hero star. Other Swifties have packed out hotels in Edinburgh's historic centre, having jetted in from the far corners of the globe, controversially forcing the city to house homeless presenting people elsewhere. One fan told Mail Online, Swift is rumoured to be staying at the popular Balmoral Hotel. They claimed she has booked out 2 entire floors after offering an entire wedding party £10,000 to move. This morning, the first few hardy souls began gathering in Roseburn Park to wait for the entrance gates to open at 3 p.m. this afternoon. First into the stadium tonight is Amber Small, 19, from Aberdeen, who was at the front of the VIP section. She said, "I can't wait. I got here for 3 a.m. to be first in queue. I didn't go to bed last night because I was so excited. It was quite cold and dark, but I've got my poncho on, and I'm from northeast Scotland, so I'm made of stern stuff. I stayed the night at my friend's aunt's house as she lives in Edinburgh and sneaked out quietly about 2 a.m. Nothing was going to stop me from getting here early. She's incredible, the best artist in the world. I've seen her twice, in London and Glasgow a few years ago. A few other fans came after me. We got chatting and we've all marked our hands with marker pen to show our place in the queue. I'm thrilled I'm number 1. That feeling of being the first in the stadium this afternoon when the gates open at 3 p.m. will be indescribable. And it's only going to get better. As Swifties queued, they could belt out their favorite hits thanks to local nightclub Boho, which set up a karaoke machine with which to entertain themselves. Zoe Blair and Sophie Anderson, both 21 and from Stirling, took to the mic. Zoe said, "I can't wait, Taylor is amazing. We managed to get last-minute tickets last week and wouldn't miss this for the world. My favorite songs are Illicit Affairs and Better Than Revenge. It's going to be an incredible night. That's not the only singing we'll be doing tonight, we'll be singing along to every song." Natalie Patience, Vicky Farish, Ella Farish and Emma Patience turned out in style to celebrate Vicky turning 44 today. The birthday girl said, "It's been an amazing birthday so far, and this is just incredible being here. We got the train from Carlisle earlier today and cannot wait for Taylor to come out on stage. The excitement is building. My daughter and niece are huge Swift fans. This concert is the cherry on top of my birthday cake." Friends Aidan Nicholson, 27, Zoe Wick, 22, and Alana Johnstone, 22, have travelled from Orkney to attend the concert in Edinburgh on Friday. Mr. Nicholson said, "We got a boat and drove for about 6 hours to get here. We're also flying out to Denmark tomorrow on holiday." Asked what he is most excited about, he said, "I'm looking forward to her playing You Belong With Me, because it's vintage Taylor, the best Taylor, and that's the way to go." Ms. Wick said, "I'm excited to hear Love Story because it's a classic and everybody grew up listening to it." And Ms. Johnstone said she is looking forward to the song All Too Well, adding, "I can't wait to hear it." Jasmine Griffin-Jones, 19, travelled to Edinburgh yesterday from her home in Manchester. She joined 2 friends camping outside Mayfield overnight. She said, "We weren't supposed to camp, but a few of us turned up with tents and had nowhere else to go, so the authorities didn't have much choice but to let us stay. There were about 12 tents overnight. It was great, like a little festival. I went to the Sainsbury's round the corner and bought a cheap duvet and sat up through the night with my friends chatting and playing Taylor Swift songs. We basically went through her set list. It was fantastic, starting the concert early. This morning we got up early, took the tent down and started queuing. People were already here at 5 a.m. I'm really looking forward to tonight, it's going to be magical." Nawaf Karmastaji, 23, from Newcastle arrived at 4 a.m. with friends Sam Best, 22, and Michael Owens, 27. His brother Rashid, 24, flew in from Bahrain to Scotland especially for the gig yesterday. Clutching a cup of coffee, Nawaf said, "I need this. It's been an early start. The VIP section go in an hour before everyone else, but then it's us. We're first in the queue for the standing area left of the stage, so hopefully we'll get a good vantage point. Taylor Swift is unreal, such a fantastic performer, and her concerts are off the scale, so it'll be a night to remember. It's been great being here with everyone, there's a real buzz starting to build. Everyone is dressed up and happy. Taylor Swift is a genius. Sam added, "We've seen the Eras film at least 5 times, probably more than that, but we've never seen her live, so it's going to be unbelievable. I'm so excited." Meanwhile, Rashid, used to Bahrain's searing heat, huddled from the Edinburgh chill by wrapping himself in a duvet. He said, "I think Taylor Swift is amazing, but not the Scottish weather." Gemma Havlin, 42, and Cara Louise Harkins, 25, had brought plenty of snacks to keep them going through to the afternoon. Gemma from Ayrshire said, "We've never seen her before, so we don't know what to expect. But the excitement is building. People have come dressed in bright colors with feather boas and hats. It's a real party. I've stocked up on crisps and sweets to keep us going until the gates open at 3 p.m. this afternoon. I think there's a bit more of a wait until Taylor comes on about 7 p.m. She's going to be fantastic." Cara added, "I missed her last time she was in Scotland, so we got here bright and early this morning. There's only about 50 or so people in front of us, so we'll be among the first in before another 73,000 people turn up. I can't wait." Ellie Poulter, 19, traveled from Oxfordshire to Edinburgh on a 10-hour coach to see the singer perform on Saturday. She told Edinburgh News, "I'm waiting 48 hours to get to the front of the crowd. I had a 10-hour coach journey to get here and I slept most of the way, so I'm feeling fresh now. I've got a hotel, but I want to be at the front. So I just dropped my bags there and we'll have somewhere to sleep after the concert on Saturday." Around 220,000 fans have spent hours in line to buy official merchandise, which is being sold near the stadium. Superfan Casey Patterson, 14, can't wait to breathe the same air as Swift. The teen, from Fife, has been sleeping at night with a VIP ticket beside her bed since August. Her mother, Catherine Patterson, said, "My daughter is obsessed with Taylor Swift. I'm looking forward to seeing my daughter's dream come true by finally seeing her idol perform live, a memory I'm sure we'll treasure forever." Staunch fans have flown in across the world from the Philippines, Australia, and the States, with one fan coming from Texas with his wife to see the star before he goes blind. It was a struggle to find accommodation in Edinburgh as hotels were quickly booked up despite tripling their rates during the megastar's 3-night residency. Incredibly, some locals came to the rescue, with one man listing his property on Airbnb for £585 per night. And after a mysterious private jet was spotted arriving in the city today, anticipation for the concert has grown. Scotland's First Minister John Swinney has told of his bond with the Swifties, before going on to name his favourite song by the US singer. During a general election campaign event in Glasgow on Friday, Mr. Swinney was asked by a journalist to name his top 3 Taylor Swift songs, prompting peals of laughter from the audience. The First Minister replied that he had felt a bond with the Swifties, as Taylor Swift fans are known, since Loch Tay in his Perthshire North Holyrood constituency was temporarily renamed Loch Tay Tay in honour of the star's arrival in Scotland this week. To further laughter from the gathered audience of SNP activists and journalists, Mr. Swinney said his favourite Swift song is her 2019 single You Need to Calm Down, which he erroneously referred to as You've Got to Calm Down. Mr. Swinney said, "First of all, I really welcome Taylor Swift's journey to Scotland, and the fact her tour is starting off in Scotland. I think that's a massive, exciting opportunity. The fact that the most beautiful place on the planet, Loch Tay, has been renamed Loch Tay Tay creates a new bond between me and the Swifties, as I represent Loch Tay or Loch Tay Tay, so that's absolutely fantastic, and I do feel that bond with the Swifties really strongly. My very favorite Taylor Swift song is, and you'll appreciate this, is You've Got to Calm Down." A train service to Edinburgh has been named to celebrate the first UK concerts of Taylor Swift's Eras tour. LNER said Friday's 10 a.m. departure from London King's Cross to the Scottish capital is called the Flying Swiftie. Thousands of the singer's fans, known as Swifties, are travelling by train to see her perform the first of 3 gigs at Mayfield Stadium tonight. Passengers are being advised to reserve seats as trains will be very busy. LNER Communications Director Stuart Thomas said, "We couldn't pass up the opportunity to celebrate the tour arriving in the UK, and so our special Flying Swiftie service will say, so long, London at 10 a.m, packed with fans heading for the first night in Edinburgh." Meanwhile, Edinburgh Zoo welcomed 2 critically endangered cotton-top tamarins, who were born on Tuesday. In honor of Taylor's concerts in Edinburgh, the tiny newborns were called Taylor and Swift. The arrival of Taylor to Edinburgh ahead of her Sellout Eras tour was also heralded by a bagpipe rendition of her hit Love Story. To give her a Scottish welcome, the Real-Time Band, an 11-piece band made up of 8 Highland bagpipers and 3 drummers, performed her song Love Story on the steps outside the venue, while wearing airified kilts. Roddy Deans, pipe major of the Real-Time Band, said, "Taylor's tunes translate surprisingly well to traditional Scottish instruments. We're all huge music fans, so we're delighted to help welcome Taylor to Scotland in the best way we know how. It's been a lot of fun recreating Love Story on the bagpipes and putting this ensemble together. It took the band 32 hours of rehearsal to practice their take on Swift's song, and they have played for people across the world, including the royal family." The singer disclosed that she has Scottish ancestry at a gig in 2015, so the stadium sponsorship signage was also changed from Scottish Gas to Scottish Lass to highlight this. The 34-year-old American singer can trace her roots back to Scottish King William the Lion, who ruled from 1165 to 1214. Swift told the Daily Record, "Every time I perform in Scotland it honestly feels like I am coming home." Drone photos taken today showed workers setting up for the 3-hour concert, where the American superstar will perform over 40 songs. Tickets are still available on resale websites for the megastar's gig, but they have been spotted going for the eye-watering sum of nearly £5,000 as fans desperately try to go last minute. A wide range of merch is available for the singer's fans to get their hands upon, including friendship bracelets selling for a mind-blowing £30 each. The merchandise went on sale at 10 a.m. on Thursday at Mayfield, with Eras Tour hoodies going for £70 as concert-goers who forked out hundreds on tickets splash even more of their cash. Other items include £15 for posters and water bottles for those with a tighter budget. Although the imminent arrival of Swift's concert tour to the UK is sending her legions of Swifties into a state of frenzied excitement, it's also very good news for the country's coffers as well. Her Eras tour is set to boost the British economy by almost £1 billion. The tour, which takes fans on a journey through the different musical stages of her career, has been a juggernaut and is predicted to provide a £997 million boost to the UK economy, according to a report. Almost 1.2 million fans will spend an average of £848 on tickets, travel, accommodation, outfits, and other costs to see the pop superstar at one of the 15 UK tour dates, more than 12 times the average cost of a night out, according to the Barclays Swiftonomics report. Eras tour tickets sparked a 15.8% year-on-year increase in UK spending on entertainment when they were released last July. The average amount spent on an Eras tour ticket is £206, although 14% of fans, including those who bought VIP ticket packages with premium seating and exclusive merchandise, spent more than £400. It has already grossed more than $1 billion, the biggest haul for any act ever, and has bagged a Guinness World Record. A trio of Swift fans have even flown across the Atlantic to see the anti-hero singer for the 3rd time on her current Eras tour. Margot Araprit, Katie King and Megan Benner come from Allentown in Pennsylvania, a distance of 3,315 miles from Edinburgh. They first saw her last month in Philadelphia and then again on Monday in Lyon, France, and will be among 73,000 fans who will cram into Mayfield, the home of Scottish rugby, this weekend. The friends joined hundreds queuing outside the famous stadium to snap up merchandise. Margot Araprit, 23, said, "This will be our 3rd time seeing Taylor on this tour. And the 2nd this week. We saw her first close to home in Philadelphia last month, and then we decided to see her again in Lyon in France on Monday, and tonight in Edinburgh. We've made a trip out of it. She's amazing, although the set list is the same, she throws in a few different surprise songs at each venue. I've seen her so many times. I first went to one of her concerts when I was 8 and in the 3rd grade at school. I think she is an incredible artist and I'm so looking forward to being there. She brings something new every time." Katie King, 25, agreed and said, "Each venue there is a different vibe, so even though this will be the 3rd time we will have seen her, it always feels quite fresh. Lyon was fantastic, it's where she broke the record for highest attendance by a female artist, but each crowd reacts differently depending on which country and which city. There's always that buzz and excitement, which is amazing here in Edinburgh." It's as much of a thrill as the first time we saw her in Philly. Megan Benner, 23, said, "That first time we were right up in the gods, but in Lyon we were on the floor so had a much better viewpoint. We are in the VIP area, so it's better still. Edinburgh is a fantastic city so full of history and culture. You can see how many fans Taylor has here looking at this line for merchandise. I know she'll raise the roof." Olivia Peddle, 27, meanwhile had the comparatively shorter trip from Leeds. She has travelled up to Edinburgh with University of Birmingham with friends Kia Clark, 27, and Orla Mullen, also 27. Olivia said, "I've never seen Taylor Swift before, so I'm really excited. I'd had tickets to see her in Hyde Park in 2020, but it was cancelled due to COVID. I've wanted to see her so much, and now finally I am, and Edinburgh is such a fantastic city. I can't think of a better place to see the biggest selling artist of the year. Even the capital's trams have been covered in adverts for the star's latest album and hotel rooms have become hard to find. Some hoteliers are charging a staggering £1,600 a night amid the shortage of rooms in the city." Twitter and Facebook have each received thousands of posts from accounts advertising tickets for but the superstar's Edinburgh shows at far below the rates of official resale sites. But Nationwide Building Society has warned Swifties looking for tickets to be aware of scams. Research by the company revealed that the chance to see Taylor Swift is the most likely event to have been affected by fake tickets, 20%, closely followed by football fans seeking tickets for the Euros, 18%, the Wimbledon Tennis Championship, 15%, and the Olympics and Paralympics, 15%. Source: dailymail.co.uk. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.